I mean, I know there's a lot of trainers out there and stuff, but I want y'all to know one thing. I'm the best damn looking trainer there is. I bring an energy level that nobody can handle, and I got an ass that just screams victory. This right here.
Oh gosh.
We're gonna dig in, and we're not gonna get the. It's just gonna be too much. Oh, I'm sorry, my ass. You're waiting to get over this as you get into it. And it's going to stand you up every time, son. You got to drive through it, okay? You got to trust yourself, believe in yourself. And your nuts are on the side of the seat a little bit. All right, because it's easier to pull up. As I'm exiting, as soon as I think it's pulling, I can grab that gear. That'll also help straighten the bike up. If your bike will pull that long, you can let it pull. As I'm exiting this turn, I have to think about what's coming up. You're in the moment, but as you're exiting, it's where that chess player comes in. You got to be steps ahead of your opponent. You got to be steps ahead of your track. You got to know what's coming up. Just don't want to dig in this. You do not want to dig in any of this soft stuff. And this is why you're awaiting that outside peg and lifting yourself up. Where will you be looking? As I'm right here, I'm already looking to where that base of that jump is. When you jump the tabletop, you already need to look all the way down in this turn. Wait. Stop staring at the cheerleaders over there. You're bad about doing that, son. I pay these cheerleaders a lot of money.
Let's see.
Oh, he has no technique and he just... Oh my god, you hear that clutch? Throws it out.
I think he's kind of ripping, Nick. I think he's going a little bit faster than you.
He is, but like, it's just like, he's stop eating that McDonald's.
So you're saying you got him covered in this corner. You're probably faster?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell y'all, I saw a pass this weekend that was done. That old Zach O'Brien set up the lap before. And you know what he did? He went and moved the cone. He went and hit it and moved the cone, knocked the cone down. And the last lap, in the last turn, he made that pass, and he almost went by the leader. He didn't cut the track. He moved the cone. And it was beautiful. When I tell you it had to probably be the best pass I've ever seen, it's right. It was beautiful. It was creativity. Be the creator, be the leader. All right. Can everybody ride up to the top of the hill? Come here. So this is where you have to know your bike. You have to know if it's doing something that you don't like, you have to speak up. All right. I'm not a suspension guy. Kendall's not. But I've been around it long enough, I know kind of little stuff. You know, one thing I do know is that I'm damn good looking. And Kendall is second best good looking.
Yes, I'll take that. A podium.
A podium. We got a podium.
A podium. I'm cool with that.
All right, so you have to like know what your bike's going to do. And that's why I always say about play ride and stuff. Because you have to know what it's going to do before you even wreck. And we got Wake jumped the tabletop over here.
Yeah, dude. That was sick.
You cased it? So we got us some launchers.
Sitting in it, dude. That was sweet. You were pumped, weren't you? Your first time hitting that?
Yeah.
How long you been coming here, rolling that table?
My brain's, I think we're good.
Yeah,
First day?
On the bike. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it, dude. So how long we were off? What happened? What got us in this pickle?
Broke my tibia, had surgery. Like 8 screws, something like that. A month later, first day back on the bike today.
4 weeks back and we're ready to go. We getting ready for qualifiers or something?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Right on, dude. Good to have you back.
Originally, you know, he played all the ball sports, so it was all team. And, you know, kind of letting him be out there on his own and figuring everything out on his own was a huge step for us because I've always been a coach. I've always been right there to help and So getting him and letting him figure this all out was huge for us. But as of right now, we're just taking it weekend to weekend and just trying to get better mentally, physically, everything.
He was into baseball. It was every weekend. We hardly had any breaks. He was getting burnt out. And then his grandparents actually bought him a little dirt bike just to piddle around with at home. And then it went from there to an 85. And here we are. Like, it's a great transition. He's having a lot of fun. It's fun energy. He just really enjoys it.
A lot of good riders. You got a lot of different track conditions. What do you think about this place?
It's really gnarly. There's a ton of sand.
Really sandy?
Yeah.
What else do you like about Monster?
There's some big jumps.
Am I good looking? So I think the progression is there. We're growing. Biggest thing is I want to see our riders having fun, but I want to see them hungry, and I need to see that that's where they're starving. Where they expect 100% out of themselves. I can want it for them all day long, but at the end of the day, it falls on their shoulders. I can give them all the knowledge in the books, but at the end of the day, it's on them, and I need to see that want. I need to see that progression. And as you saw earlier, when I don't see it, I lose it because they're cheating themselves, and I can't have that. I can't have that. I can't handle it. I can't have it because I live my life through them now, and I need those wins. I need those victories, and victory is them going out there and giving 100%. It's not so much about finishing first, but it's leaving everything out there on the track. When they do that, hey, I'm happy. When they don't, they cheat themselves. That's when the ass chewings come. To make it from the amateurs to the pros, it takes a lot of maturity. I see today's the maturity level just isn't. They're getting these kids so quick, and it's killing their careers. Speed-wise, they can go as fast, but in the pros, you got to recover quick and put it past yourself. And you got to have that drive. You got to have the goals. I don't see a lot of kids having goals, and these kids that are winning, they're winning, so they're like, why should I change anything up? But the problem is in the pro ranks, there's not just one guy or two guys that's doing everything you're doing. You've got 20 guys that's doing everything that you're doing plus something a little bit better. And in order to beat someone, you got to do everything they're doing plus something better. It's finding that edge, and we're always looking for that edge. And I feel like a lot of times, these parents that are bailing their kids out, this and left and right. So when they do run into a problem, well, they're getting beat. They don't know why they're doing the things they're doing on a motorcycle. And they can't figure it out. They think they have everything figured out. They're winning, so, the maturity just not there. And I blame, honestly, now that at 18 the rule is, which is good. The careers are a lot longer now. They're not as short. But when you line up on the gate against the very, very best that's done everything that you've done, and that want it a little bit more, because, I hate to say it, but no matter where you're at in your path, there's somebody else in this world that wants it just as bad as you do. If you're shoveling shit, somebody wants to shovel that shit, more than what you want to shovel it. And that's just life. And in life, nobody gives a crap what you've done. It's about tomorrow, having those goals, having that drive, having those dreams, knowing that they come true, and not relying on anybody, because in today's world, nobody gives a shit about what you've done and what you're doing. They won't, and another thing is everything they want right now. I think, in my situation, I always tell the parents, you sit down and be a parent and let us do our job, because it's personal when it comes from a parent. When I get onto the kids, it's not so personal. And, I always say you have to go to the line knowing that, in the mind that business isn't good. And understand that, you have a highs and you have your lows, and you got to find that happy medium. And if you can do that, you got things figured out. I always say ride the highs as long as you can, ride the lows fix the lows, and but you got to take your strengths and make them as strong as you can. Take your weaknesses, you make them even strong as you can. But you got to study the sport, and you've got to study why the guys are doing the things they're doing. And if you think you're going to be the one, because the whole racing hasn't changed since the day it started. It's about momentum. It's about being smart and putting yourself in the best position, and stop looking at tomorrow and start looking at down the road. And know that it's work. Everybody thinks they can just go out and they're going to do it their way, and we all work differently. At the end of the day, it's busting your ass and having a goal and going and doing something about it and fixing the things. Because the teams don't want to hear excuses. They don't want to hear this and that. The only thing I can tell you is there's somebody that's going to come up and take your position if you ain't doing your job. Whether you like it or not. You can sit there and complain and do all this. Nobody gives a shit. You put your head down, figure things out, because in life, whether in racing or not, all I said at the end of my career is I just wanted 9 to 5s. That's all I wanted was a 9 to 5. You know what I learned? And in that 9 to 5, you got to show up every day. And you got to give everything you have. So that way, as a man, when I put my head down on the pillow, I know I gave it everything I had, and I can sleep. Because there's going to be a day where you have kids, you have family, and in this sport, I see a lot of prima donnas. I see a lot of kids that just expect, they want things right now. I'm going to tell each and every one of y'all, if you want something, go earn it. No excuses, nothing like that. If you want to groom track, go earn it. Because right now, the Europeans, I'm going to be straight up with you. Europeans are spanking our ass because they don't get groom tracks. They don't get none of this perfect. They go out with a purpose. Every day they ride that motorcycle, they go out with a purpose. And they hammer it down. So I'm going to tell you, go out with a purpose. Have a goal every day. Do something about it. And make that 1% better than what you were the day before.
One more question, dude.
Yes, sir.
Why are you here? Out of all the things you could be doing in your life, dirt bikes are cool, but why do you spend 4 days a week in that camper training these kids?
That's a good question. I don't have to do this. I do it because, number one, I love it. Number two, I believe and I know what I'm capable of. And number three is I've got to win. I left unfinished business out there. And I said it earlier, when I got to put my head down on the pillow, knowing that I got the unfinished business, but I know what these kids are capable of. Having the ability, having the knowledge. And when you care, because this isn't, in the day, motorcycles, if you want to know it's my opinion, motorcycles don't make that much money. It's about love. It's passion. And I go into anything and everything is all emotions. Everything I do is emotions. And I got a family. My wife's at home not feeling good. And I'm here with these kids every fucking day. Because I believe in them. And I don't quit. I know what they're capable of. And damn it, I'm going to make sure that they reach their goals. That they reach their dreams. Because all these other places, it's all about money. They did this and that. They don't give a shit. Here, we give a shit. And this is how bad I want it. These kids are going to reach their dreams and their goals.